Hey guys, NoZoupForYou here, and today I am bringing you a preview of the USS West Virginia. And I'm not so much as bringing you a preview, as I'm bringing you a rebuke of the ship in its entirety. I'm going to get into the reason why I am completely rebuking this ship, and in a sense boycotting it. The whole reason for this is because the USS West Virginia we are getting is not the USS West Virginia that we know. It's not the final version of the USS West Virginia that was involved in Leyte Gulf. The version of the USS West Virginia we are getting is the one that was hammered at Pearl Harbor, the one that was sunk at Pearl Harbor. So you're going to see this ship in the background as I give my reasons for not wanting this ship in game. You're going to see the stats pop up in the right hand corner, and I'm just going to cycle through it all, but I'm not going to touch on that. I'm going to touch on why it's so important that we get the USS West Virginia that we should be getting. I feel like I just had a video about giving us what we want and actively listening to the player base and what the players want. I feel like we just went through this with the USS Boise and the Nueva de Julio, a ship in which the Nueva de Julio was getting ready to come out, but public outcry was so loud because of the history of the Boise and what it did and its place in World War II, that Wargaming went back and said, okay, we're going to give both versions. To me, USS West Virginia is all wrong right now. Now let me give you a little history of the USS West Virginia. For those that are not in America, for those in Europe and everywhere else, I can understand why you might be confused as to why this is such a big deal. But as you know in this game, these ships are more than just ships that we play, ships that get statistics. These ships have history to them, and that's a big reason why some people play this game. Not for the ability to go out and blow up other ships. Yes, that's fun and that's well and that's good, but a lot of players play this game because of the historic aspect. These ships have significant meaning to them. USS West Virginia has significant history in the United States and in World War II. So let me paint the picture of a ship that was sitting at Pearl Harbor, a ship that was struck by 7 torpedoes and sank, killing numerous sailors, including the commander of the ship. A ship that sat at the bottom of the harbor and was refloated and repaired. And when it was repaired, it just wasn't made back to what it was. Because in its state that we're getting in the game, in its pre-modernized state, it looked more akin to the USS Arizona. It looked more akin to the USS Colorado in its original state, because this was a Colorado-class battleship. And I'm sure you're familiar with that, with the old roll cage masts, those 2 antiquated looking things sticking up the top with the crow's nests. That is the version we're getting in this game. That is the version Wargaming is giving to us. The version that was sunk at Pearl Harbor. Not the version for which the USS West Virginia is known. Not the version that was lifted from the depths, repaired, and in 1944 sent to take part in one of the biggest naval actions of the war, the Leyte landings, the Battle of Leyte Gulf, Surigao Strait. And let's talk about Surigao Strait, the last battleship-to-battleship action in history, the last place where battle wagons duked it out with their main 16-inch guns slugging it out. That's the last time this happened in history, and the leader of Surigao Strait, the leader where Ollendorf crossed the T, was the USS West Virginia. West Virginia, with its advanced radar, picked up Nishimura's force at 42,000 yards. In the black of night, USS West Virginia opened up at 12.9 miles away, striking Yamashiro with her first salvo. She fired 93 shells, along with California and Tennessee. Pennsylvania was there. Mississippi was there. This was a giant naval battle with battleships. Now, yes, the Japanese fleet by this point was already crippled. Yes, they would have destroyed them anyways. The crossing of the T was irrelevant because the same thing would have played out even if it wasn't crossing the T. The US forces would have utterly destroyed Nishimura's navy. But that's not the point. The point is the USS West Virginia was at the forefront of that. The modernized USS West Virginia. The ship that we were expecting to get in the game. Now, I'm not gonna guess about what the stats for this ship would be if it was the modern version, the upgraded version, the version that was at Surigao Strait. I'm not going to guess what the stats could be, and I'm not going to say this ship shouldn't be in the game because of what the stats might be or what might they have to be to get it in at that point. I don't care. We can work something out. Wargaming can work something out to get the stats where they need to be. The point is, this ship needs to be in the game as we're expecting it. The ship that was present at the surrender of Japan. Not the one that was at Pearl Harbor when Pearl Harbor got destroyed. That's not the USS West Virginia everyone's thinking of. So Wargaming, please. I'm breaking with you on this one. And I'm pleading to you, please. Put the West Virginia we're expecting in the game. Put the West Virginia that deserves to be in the game. And yes, I know that there might be a little bit of differences in the actual model between this and the fully upgraded USS Colorado. But don't give us the antiquated version. Don't give us the version that no one is expecting or no one really wants. This is too important for many people, for those that care about the history of these ships. I'm included in that group. As someone who cares about military history and is deeply vested in World War II history, I care about these ships beyond their statistics in the game, beyond how they're supposed to operate. I care about them as historical artifacts. Please, Wargaming, do West Virginia right. Put it in the game as it needs to be. I feel like we keep doing this dance right here where we're getting something that we really don't want just to get it in the game. I don't know what the stats would be if you put it in the game in its final configuration. I don't, and I'm not going to guess on it. But I'm sure you can figure something out that makes it evenly balanced with the other ships in its tier, whether it's tier 8 or tier 7. But, that being said, I don't want the ship you plan on putting in there. I just don't. We don't need that ship. And USS West Virginia's memory doesn't need that ship. So yes, I might sound a little heated about this, but I care about this ship. I care about the history of this ship. As someone who lives next to that state, as a Virginian, I'm standing up for my West Virginia brothers here, a state that I go to often. In closing, Wargaming, please, think this one over. Don't rush it out to us. Take the time to make this ship right. Take the time to do this ship right. Anyhow, guys, that's all I've got to say about this. Thanks for watching. Zoop out.